Hello everyone. Hope you're doing great. This is Motorsport Progression, and I'm back again with another video. So I just want to talk about the team standings here for Formula One after the Chinese Grand Prix, which is the second race of the season. So it's race 02 out of 24. Okay, now let's start. So the points after the Chinese Grand Prix. So in 10th position you got Alpine, and so in 10th position, you got Alpine. They haven't scored any points yet. In ninth position, you got the Racing Bulls, and they have 3 points. So at the moment is obviously after the Chinese Grand Prix, it was Yuki Tsunoda and Isaac Hadjar that was driving the Racing Bulls. And so they scored 3 points, after two races, which is reasonable. And in eighth position, you got a Kick Sauber, and the Kick Sauber they have 6 points. So I remember the first race you got had Gabriel Bortoleto. He had a couple of accidents, and Nico Hulkenberg as well. I think after in the Australian Grand Prix, but I'm sure in this race the Chinese Grand Prix, they managed to score some points. So in seventh position, you got the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll. So Lance Stroll, from what I can remember, Fernando Alonso has had two DNFs. So all the points has been scored by Lance Stroll, and he's put Aston Martin in seventh position with 10 points. So shout out to Lance Stroll there. I mean, he's driving quietly, and he's being effective right now. While his older teammate Fernando struggles a little bit, but I'm sure Fernando will find some form a bit later, towards the middle of the season. And in sixth position, you have Haas F1, who scored 14 points. And I'm sure Haas did not score any points here after the first race. So they scored 14 points in the second race. So it is Esteban Ocon and Oliver Behrman. So these two drivers, they deserve, some credit here for pushing the Haas here and scoring 14 points in one race. That's very, very impressive because, the Haas F1, I mean, for many years they've been in F1. They've been the last, they've been the last team, and so for them to build up and, see some joy after a few years, it takes a few years. It shows you that it takes a few years, for things to happen in people's life and, for results to come. So in fifth position, you got Ferrari with 17 points. So Ferrari scored in the first two. Sorry, they scored points in the first race with Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, and then Lewis Hamilton also won the sprint race. So Lewis Hamilton winning the sprint race that helped them a lot, and then they were both disqualified in the Chinese after the Chinese Grand Prix. So Charles Leclerc's car was weighed and was found to be underweight. So that Ferrari was disqualified. And Lewis Hamilton's Ferrari was disqualified because the wear on the plank was 0.5 millimeters, yeah, of off. And such a small margin, 0.5 millimeters. They could have just allowed that, but it's part of the rules that imagine that 0.5 millimeters can give you like thousands of a second, and that adds up, throughout a race. So the FIA was right to disqualify both drivers, but I feel like Ferrari, they need to have a committee, yeah, that helps them avoid mistakes. So they need to have a part of the team, yeah, specially made to avoid mistakes, if they want to win again. And I think that will help them a lot because, most of Ferraris over the last few years, from my observation, most of Ferrari's downfall has been they've had good cars and good pace. I mean, thinking back to when Vettel was fighting for the championship 2017 and 2018, and even thinking back to when Charles Leclerc was fighting Max Verstappen in 2022. They've had good cars, yeah, but they had the pace to win the championships, but it's just the strategy and and loads of mistakes. So if they have a committee like a part of the team that looks into the team to check everything to make sure they have less mistakes than they should have, Ferrari will be a force to reckon with, in the next few years. In fourth position, you got a Williams, yeah, and the Williams do have 17 points. And bearing in mind, in the Chinese Grand Prix, there was a sprint race as well. So that gave extra points as well. So the Williams has 17 points. And Alexander Albon, he's been doing very well. He scored points in both races. And I'm sure Carlos Sainz scored some points as well. And also, in third position, you have Red Bull Racing. And they have 36 points. So that 36 points, all of it has come from Max Verstappen, because from what I can recall, Liam Lawson has not scored any points at the moment, and he's done two races plus one sprint race, and he hasn't scored any points at all. And his seat has been under scrutiny. Actually, the news broke this morning that he will be replaced at the Red Bull team at the Japanese Grand Prix. So Liam Lawson will get replaced by Yuki Tsunoda in the Red Bull team, and then so Liam Lawson is gonna go back to the Racing Bulls, and he done well in that car last year. But he had a bit of arrogance, but I don't really mind that because it's part of a Formula One driver's life, to be a bit arrogant to get results, but not too overly arrogant. You know what I'm saying? So Liam Lawson, he's been brought back down to earth, on his high horse. So, he's gonna, maybe this is a chance for him to prove himself back in the Racing Bulls to get a seat for the future. He might get a seat in Aston Martin or, you know, the new team, Audi, and the new team that's gonna be for 2026 Audi. He could get a seat at many other teams, So he just needs to, look at the opportunities and not worry about, losing the Red Bull seat, because they're never gonna allow you to beat Max Verstappen anyway. So, okay, moving on. In second position, you got a Mercedes. Mercedes have 57 points. So, from what I can recall, George Russell has two, two podiums, yeah, two third places, and Kimi Antonelli has 2 points finishes. He finished fifth in he finished fourth in the Australian Grand Prix, and I'm not too sure where he finished in the Chinese Grand Prix. But I'm sure Kimi Antonelli, he's been contributing to the times as well. So for a rookie, he's done quite well. So shout out to Kimi Antonelli as well, and shout out to George Russell as well, because a lot of people are doubting him that he cannot uphold the team and take the team forward. So George Russell's putting pressure, and scoring podiums. And also in first position, you got McLaren, who have 78 points. So McLaren are leading now. They got 2 wins, and they got 2 wins, and Lando Norris has 2 podiums, and Oscar Piastri has 1 win and 1 ninth position. And also, I'm sure he scored a second position in the sprint race as well. So McLaren have the most points at the moment. So yeah, so it's they're a few points ahead, and so let me just calculate it. So you got the 8 points plus another 10 points plus another three, so that's 21 points. McLaren are 21 points ahead of Mercedes at the top of the charts, at the top of the team standings. So yeah, peeps. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. So that's the team standings for the 2022 Formula One season after the Chinese Grand Prix. So let me just give you 1 to 10 quickly. You got McLaren in number one, 78 points. You got Mercedes number 2, 57 points. You got Red Bull Racing number 3, 36 points. You got Williams in number 4, 17 points. You got Ferrari number 5, 17 points. You got Haas F1 number 6, 14 points. You got Aston Martin number 7, 10 points. You got Kickstarter number 8, 6 points. And you got Racing Bulls number 9, 3 points. And you got Alpine number 10 with no points. So yeah, peeps, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, yeah, and then also like the video. Drop your comments below. If you have any questions to ask me, feel free to ask. Let me know what your thoughts are on the Formula One team standings at the moment, and also share the channel. Share the video so it goes far as well, so other people can get the knowledge as well. And also click on another video to enjoy more content on the channel, and also you can come back on the channel regularly to check for more content. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for your support, and then I'm on to the next one. Thanks.